It's the Hotch Potch launch party, part 4.
Super. Well, thank you, everybody. And next we're going to hear from Javier and PJ because they actually collaborated on their story, Universal Language of Survival, A Time Traveler's Adventure. And I'll have them tell you more about this because this was a very interesting and different sort of process from what we've done before. So I think y'all find it fascinating. I'll turn it over to them.
I'll let there we go.
Neither of us knows when to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these characters kind of belong to Javier because he created them and they're in a screenplay. And so when we found out about this issue of Hotch Potch, we really wanted to use the paintings to explore stories with these characters that aren't in the screenplay. And so we went through the paintings and we brainstormed different ideas and landed with this one from Jolene and the story that we came up with. I don't know if you want to add to that part, Javier.
No, it's fantastic because usually during the script there are scenes that are not in the script but are important, and we felt this story was kind of good. If if we wanted to, we knew we wanted to move forward and do more stuff based on the script. So this short story is almost like aside. It's not in the script itself, but it's essential to the story. But people could enjoy it just by itself. So that's why we picked that.
And then we basically we haven't worked together before like this, so we weren't sure. We kind of just felt our way through it. But Javier is a really strong plotter, and I'm more of a pantser, and so it was really nice because it's kind of like if you imagine like the like a Polaroid developing. I think Anne Lamott talks about that. So we got just the broad brush beats and then started writing, and we would trade back and forth. And so I think Javier, I would get stuck on the anything fight related, and so he would rough something out and then I would play with it, and we worked together on Google Docs and went back and forth. So it actually was pretty seamless.
Yeah, this was my first attempt at this kind of writing. I've done a bunch of screenplays and done a bunch of movies, but never have I tried to do short story or anything in written form in this way. So I was excited to work with PJ.
And did either of you discover anything interesting or surprising in the process?
This is much harder than writing screenplays, for sure. It's because I'm very visual when it comes to screenplays, but even that, to turn it into the written page, it's hard. It's hard. I have found a new respect to anybody who writes books and stories. So.
And then I would say it's a discovery anytime to go in. Like, I think having these characters, these are minor characters in the script. Well, the Maya characters are anyway, minor. And so yeah, it's kind of fun to just say like, well, what's Malinali like? And just let her she's a lot more cheeky, and she curses a lot more than we put in the in the story, because yeah. So anyway, she's quite salty, so that was really fun to get a sense of just who that character is. And then the Kate character as well, because she's a main character, but she's kind of an ensemble. With the size of the ensemble in the screenplay, it's hard to get, and that it's a screenplay, you don't have the actors putting the life into the characters. And so yeah, it was just really fun to see like how Malinali and Kate got along and didn't get along, and they don't speak the same language, and they're not from the same culture. So how could we find common ground for them in such a short period of time when they're in danger, when they don't really have that common, they're human, that's what they have in common. So
Fantastic. Thank you
Great.
both.
Where are we at? Oh, okay. Thanks so much to PJ and Javier. And next up is Jeff Polk, who will read from his story, How to Say Goodbye.
You're muted, Jeff.
Okay. Balance. Okay. This is about a man who orders a set of integrated circuit diagrams from Popular Mechanics magazine. Oh, and his wife has left him. Unfortunately, the drawings didn't come with instructions. What was the point of that? To make us feel bad that we didn't realize what was out there waiting for us? If we only knew the great, warm, ennobling things? If I could only understand. I always thought I could figure things out if I took the time. For example, my wife said I didn't show any emotion. She never knew what I was thinking or feeling. That made me upset. She made it seem I was a cold, unfeeling person, which I wasn't, but I thought about it. She was right. I have an even-handed nature. I don't stay angry or upset. I think it's important to steady the storm with a solid hold on the tiller. Anyway, I found a book in the library about recognizing and expressing emotions. That was an eye-opener. It talked about how most people communicate with each other on a shallow basis, talking about news, weather, what they did that day, who they met, and what they said. But to really have a relationship with someone, we need to go to a deeper level in which we share our honest feelings and thoughts. It made sense. So I tried doing that with my wife. I'm sad today, I said to her. I miss my brother, my parents. I don't know if my father loved me. She looked at me surprised, seeming to want to hear more, so I told her. One day I said, I don't think you love me. Another, I'm not sure I love you. I don't know if this will work. And I'm afraid of having a heart attack and dying like my mother. It's possible that life really has no meaning. You are beautiful. I think about making love to other women. I smell coffee in the morning and think that life is wonderful. I'm not talented, but I get by with a lot of effort. After a month of this, I could see she was getting annoyed. She kidded that I had emotional Tourette's, that I didn't have to say everything I was thinking. I tried to get her to be honest with me too, so we could enter a deeper relationship, as the book promised, but she didn't seem to want to go there. It doesn't seem you want to go there, I said. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I find this both funny and poignant, getting this insider's perspective on this character who's being so methodical about something that for I don't know if that's a decision, but that for many people just comes very naturally. I found it very touching. So thank you for that.
Well, yeah.
Thanks.
So we're going to hear from one final writer, Meg Gallipo, who's going to read from her story, If the Shoe Fits. And Meg, I am not seeing, oh, there she is.
I didn't know I was reading.
Oh, right, because you told me maybe, and you decided at the last minute. Well, you can decide not to. I can unpin you and we can move right along. It's really,
Oh God.
you don't
Yeah.
have,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Yep.
I am not prepared.
Fine. No worries. You see,
We can
our script is all written out, so
we can double back to one of the silly questions that we skipped over if you want to. We can keep moving on.
yeah, let's do another silly question.
Okay, this was
Sorry.
because it's my favorite question because it'll put people on spot, and I have people to call on if you don't answer. So, what author, not a character, what author, living or dead, would you want to spend 2 hours naked in a hot tub with? And why, if you want to say why, but you don't have to.
And let's open this up to anyone who hasn't.
Anybody, like Heather, who hasn't answered a question yet.
No pressure.
Okay, I'll go. So even though he's a guy, I'm still going to say Robert Jordan. Robert Jordan, if you're not familiar with him, is a fantasy writer. He wrote the Wheel of Time series. And I really think of Robert Jordan as kind of a modern day Homer. He just tells these sprawling, epic stories with a million characters. And he always had little taglines so you can identify each of his million characters. And I just can't imagine anyone better to sit with wine in a hot tub with and just talk, because I think he could tell stories like nobody's business.
Cool. Good one.
And the
Who
nakedness
else?
just enhance the conversation.
I guess so.
And who else wants to get naked in a hot tub with an author?
Somebody must want to. Yep, you people just have that written on.
Don't
your-
make me answer. Don't do it.
You'll live to regret it.
Aaron, who do you want to be naked in a hot tub with besides Gail?
Well, first of all, I already went, and second of all, that's the only right answer in this context.
No, there's must be another one.
All right. I'll go with Umberto Eco, because that's the first author I read who made me feel like I was smart, because I got a third of what he was saying. And maybe that would happen again if we were naked. I don't know.
Grab your very own copy of Hotch Potch. Check the link out right here for Book Funnel.